Okay, today we're going to talk about how journaling helped me develop a devotion. If you guys were around yesterday when I tried to launch this video, the video I previously recorded had some focusing issues. I've made sure that's fixed in this video. That shouldn't happen again. It was born of this whole thing of like, I mostly edit right now by sound and keyboard shortcuts because of the concussion that I suffered a couple months ago. So it's really hard for me to do like visual editing, and I kind of have to trust my gear that it's locked off correctly and it's focused in the right place and it's recording right. And because I can't just be looking at the screen or the confidence monitor here in the studio all the time. So my apologies for that. Just wanted to own up to that with you guys. There was nothing like weird in that video or anything else. It was just like my bad. I made an editing mistake and should have caught that sooner as far as just the camera focusing. So hopefully this doesn't give anyone any headaches. I'm gonna kind of just like shorten this video up, I guess, in a sense, by just like talking about how journaling helped me develop a devotion. This is really 3 parts here because this has been sort of evolving over the last 8 years, but I'll take you through each part and just how it's gotten me here with the notebook. The first part here that I want to talk about is reading the Psalms all the way through and the Proverbs all the way through every single month. So that's 1 proverb chapter and 5 Psalms every single month. So every day is 1 proverb, 5 Psalms. If I have a month with 31 days, I'll then do the 31st Psalm or the 31st proverb and the Magnificat, Mary's Magnificat. And on days where I have like 30 or less, like February or whatever, I'll just stack everything there at the end and have a fun day. This came out of I guess an experiment that happened a couple years ago now, where a group of us in our local community read through the Bible during Advent like nonstop. So we read the entire Bible in about 3-ish days. We had like different shifts and like different teams going in, but it was pretty cool because you could just like go to church and someone was like constantly reading through the Bible at all times. It was pretty rad. And that just got me thinking, like, I wish I could read the entire Bible every single month. I kind of fell off that horse. I tried that as like an experiment last year. I definitely read the Bible a lot more than I normally would have, but I just ended up asking myself, like, what can I do to at least get all the Proverbs and Psalms in every single month? And I mean, spoiler alert, like if you spend enough time in the Proverbs and Psalms, you will end up in other places in the Bible. Psalm 106, man, I still think about that reference to Phineas in the book of Numbers, like every single time I read that Psalm now, even just looking at it. It's little things like that. Like the Proverbs and the Psalms really do unlock the whole of the Bible and the biblical narrative in so many ways. I mean, so many of these are quoted by Jesus and in the New Testament, obviously through lines through the Old Testament, references to the Old Testament galore. So that's a devotion. That's a really simple, I think, easy devotion that anyone can do, and it's great. I do want to give an honorable mention before I move on to the really the biggest part of this devotion. An honorable mention to the USCCB. They have a daily reading that you can just go get off their website. I think it's usccb.org, and they just have like the daily readings for the church every single day, and with notes, and it's pretty great. So if you're looking to go a little bit beyond this, I would say check that out. Okay, here, let's get to the meat of this, which involves this over here, which is like how I ended up going from, how I ended up taking on the rosary, and how I ended up developing a devotion to the rosary and praying the rosary daily. Because 4 years ago-ish, when I started experimenting with this, I'm acting like it's a drug, but prior to feeling called, I guess, to this devotion, the rosary to me, like I could pray a Hail Mary, I could pray the Our Father prayer, I knew the creed, but it was kind of just like a thing of penance to pray the rosary, or like a punishment, honestly. And I don't even think I owned a rosary, and now I have several of them. So that's pretty great. But I needed to map out the mysteries. I think this is really the thing that unlocked the rosary for me, or really helped me like get a lot out of the rosary and make it a special devotion for me. Just having like the days of the week, which like rosary prayer, to pray for, or like that, which mysteries you're praying through. And then I just created this like little grid of like joyful mysteries, sorrowful mysteries, glorious mysteries, luminous mysteries. And then I have all of the like 5 mysteries for each one just notated out in bullet form there. This was really helpful because when I first started praying the rosary, like I said, I could pray Hail Mary, I could pray Our Fathers and the Fatima prayer pretty easily. But just sitting with the mysteries, having this open, and now I do have this memorized, writing this down and writing this in every single journal that I've ever had now. These are the first 2 pages in every single journal now that I own. And this is an old journal from the beginning of this year. It's also in my current journal here in the Paper Republic notebook. But yeah, just sometimes flipping back to this and not just like praying the rosary in the morning, but being able to come back to any of the mysteries and meditate on them and kind of pick back up throughout the day has been really, really helpful. Yeah, this ended up being a product of a lot of journaling. I had a lot of experiences. Some of you know my mother was diagnosed with cancer about 4 years ago. And then just this past Advent, she passed away. And so that was kind of the, I guess, sort of trigger for feeling called into this devotion. And yeah, just wanting to be obedient to that. And but at the same time, like I didn't know what I was doing. I will say, like, I guess if we're doing honorable mentions, Ascension Press has a really good pocket devotional on the rosary. That did help a little bit, but it was just like another thing to carry around. And just having this bit in my notebook helped me conquer kind of that final hurdle of like, where are all the mysteries? And thankfully, like, having a really good biblical context and like knowing your way around the Bible, yeah, just makes the mysteries really rich, because then you can kind of see where all these things slot into scripture. And I can't say enough good things about the rosary. I wish every Christian at least could pray the rosary and would pray the rosary. You don't have to take on every single devotion that the church has ever had for 2,000 years or so, but it is something that is so powerful because you're just in the deep waters. I think a seaplane is landing at the lake by my office. No, that's just a very loud car that I don't know why they're out here. Okay. This has been one of the most, I guess, comforting and consoling devotions. It is the most comforting and consoling devotion that, at least that I've experienced, especially in light of so many things, having my mom pass. Yeah, this was really cool. And I had to do a lot of journaling on it because obviously, like, people, you may have hangups about Mary or, different thoughts on, I guess, the mysteries, or I don't know. Some people come to Christianity hoping for certainty, and I guess the only thing you can be certain in is God and His providence and His love. But there are mysteries, and we're meant to sit with them. There are things that are, as Job says, too wonderful for us to know, but that doesn't mean we don't spend 40 chapters talking to God about it, and our friends about it. So yeah. The rosary. I think just if you have a rosary, if you've ever wanted to make the rosary your devotion, or if you ever just like wanted to get like know Jesus more, pair a rosary with a notebook, create a little map for yourself so you can keep track of those mysteries. And if you don't know where they are in the gospel accounts and in the New Testament, just write them out. Again, that's how you can like find on the Vatican website, find that on the USCCB site, just, punch that in somewhere on the internet, you'll figure it out, and keep that with you. And just for me, being able to visualize it here allows me to sort of encode all of that into the beads. Fun story though, I did learn on this adventure that bead in English is like an old English word for prayer. It's like we literally call the object after the thing it's meant to like help us do, which is pray. So I thought that was kind of cool. Finally, I have made a video on this last bit of my devotion. This is for my evening examen. I made a video on this a couple years ago. I'll link that down in the description below so you all have that. This is from St. Ignatius's spiritual exercises. Wow. And it's recall one is in the presence of God, thank God for blessings received, examine how one has lived the day, ask God for forgiveness, pray for resolve, reconciliation, or recommitment. I could do all this from memory now, which is great, but if you don't have some type of evening practice to kind of like wind down the day and definitely not be on your phone or watching TV or screen or anything, I would highly recommend picking up an evening devotion. Along with a really solid morning devotion. Yeah, the Ignatian like evening examen is just so good. This is like the first devotion I picked up, actually. This was, I'm gonna say 7-8 years ago that I started this. And this was one of the first things that I put in the beginning of every single notebook that I had, you know, having been journaling for about 10 years. What's funny is like, even though I still have all this memorized, just having it on page 1 means every time this notebook comes out, if I come to this page, I usually come to the beginning of the notebook, you know, if I want to look at something, one of these things will stick out to me, especially like today. I'll be real, like after that last video and getting all those messages this morning about like, oh, the like autofocus is all jacked up on that, and having spent like half a day on that last video, I was like kind of bummed. And I like needed to see this whole thing about like thanking God for blessings received. And so that was just pretty cool. I think that's something that's really powerful about having a journal, about writing down prayers and returning to them, developing a devotion, and having that consistency that you continually return to and build yourself up from, because that can really be the difference between like an entire day that is lost because you're exhausted or things didn't go right, or you're gonna throw away a day because you're like, oh, like today's just a bad day, versus being able to turn it around with just like one line and finding sort of like a renewal of spirit, a renewal of yourself and your soul, like I did today. And now I'm making this video for you all here. And yeah, so I hope this encourages you in some way to begin journaling with the idea in mind that you can develop a devotion from that practice, and then put that devotion into your journal so that it can feed into that daily sort of discipline, that daily practice that you're going to have. And then you'll be able to see the fruits come from that. Like this whole notebook is like 100 and something pages just filled with like notes on these Psalms and Proverbs and like little things that like just have come from the mysteries and some evening examens, and you know, a lot of times it's just prayers answered, and sometimes it'd be things that I forgot that I even prayed, you know, and so there's just this like richness of taking the devotion to the page, and giving yourself a space to develop that. So what I want to know is, if you have a particular devotion, would you leave it down in the comments below? Let us know how journaling or writing or using a notebook has helped you develop a devotion. I think that'd be really cool if we could go down in the comments below and find not just this example that I've shared with you here, but a lot of different examples and a lot of different encouragement for everyone out there to just you know, take on a devotional and develop that. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's subscribed to this channel. Y'all are the best. And again, thank you to everyone who reached out about the last video and was really kind and understanding about it. And if you haven't yet, please do subscribe. It really does help me out here on this channel. And be kind, both in life and in the comments below. Like this video to send good vibes across the internet. We'll do it again soon, all right? Later. I don't know why it was so hard.